Hey, this is Kevin Mullet coming at you, and I wanted to talk to you about QR code testing. Before you actually take something out and you have it printed, it's important to test and make sure that the QR code is going to be scannable, in the format that it's going to be used in, the size that it's going to be used in. So we had developed this ad, okay, and this ad is going to go into print, and we're not going to be able to change it. It's not like a limited run. It's going to be there for at least several months, and we're not going to be able to change it across any of the copies. So we had talked about this, and as you can see, we did a little bit of an effect on it here where we rounded off the corners and we have it turned sideways and kind of tilted. Well, the important thing is that we have to test to make sure that this is going to work correctly. And we also have to remember that the printers that we have here are not going to give the same effect as the actual printer that's going to be doing the piece. So when you're doing this, you really want to make sure that you don't just scan it with one application. And that's what happened is it got scanned with one iPhone, with one particular app, the Scan app, which is by QR Code City, and it worked for that one. Great, we're golden, and off to the printer it goes. And so I came in this morning and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, we need to make sure that we test that with multiple different scanners. So whenever you're doing QR code testing, here's a couple of things to remember. Number one is test it with both new phones and old phones. Don't just rely on the brand new latest and greatest phones. You want to test with multiple phones. The second thing that you want to remember is when you're doing testing is you want to do it with multiple applications, because not everybody is going to be using the same application. So make sure and load up and test with multiples. And then one other thing is test in poor lighting conditions. What we had happen is, what we found out with this one is when we scanned this actually did not read with several of the older phones, and it did not read with all of the different apps, especially sideways like that, and because of the contrast. So the final ad that we ended up going with is one that had the darker version of it, which we actually ended up liking a little bit better anyway. But the important thing is it has to scan. This would have been a major fail if it would have went out, been printed, been in all of these things, and people would have been sitting there searching with their app, their phone, trying to scan this. So a couple things. i-nigma is on Android, barcode scanner, QR droid. You could use AT&T code, Google goggles, and B-tag are a couple of them that we test with on Android devices. And then if we jump over to the iPhone, here we're showing red laser and scan, again by QR Code City. So again, check in poor light, because the ad isn't always going to be in perfect lighting. Check with older phones, check with multiple scanner apps. Make sure that we're not talking about the conversion part of it right now. We're just talking about making sure that when you have that thing printed out and it's going into thousands and thousands of copies, boy, you want to make sure that that thing is going to scan right. So I hope that helps you. It's been a quick tip on QR code testing. Have a great day. I am Kevin Mullet with Cirrus ABS. Just look me up online. Have a great day.